is Dharmraj Solanki. Prior to his working with India Welfare Trust, where he supports the phenomenal and one-of-kind initiatives, Every Indian Volunteering and Daan Utsav, Dharmraj was the Chief Minister's Fellow with the Government of Maharashtra, ranking in the top 0.3% out of 15,000 applications. He worked there on policies related to rural development, mental health, and entrepreneurship. He has previously worked with organizations such as Teach for India, Connect For, and the Times of India. He is also a global shaper with the World Economic Forum, having been the youngest vice curator of the Mumbai hub. He has been recognized as the Student of the Year a few times during his schooling and is a mechanical engineer graduating in the top 5% of his batch. Football, debates, marathons bring balance to his penchant for public policy, philosophy, and puppetry, among other subjects. That's a lot about what Dharmraj is. Today, let's try to fathom why he is what he is. Welcome, Dharmraj, to Small Big Wins.
Thank you so much, Ash. It's a pleasure being here.
My first question, Dharmraj, is about your name. Dharma is a deep word. It encompasses a lot of philosophy, and it is a word which generally has many more interpretations and connotations than possibly any other word. So, was this name kept by sheer chance, or there was a design behind it?
There's a funny story behind the name. I belong to a Gujarati family and a specific caste called the Rajput Gujaratis, where men or boys are given a certain name, which are, as I call them, suffix compatible. So any name that goes well with the suffix that we use called Siha, right, which means lion, to indicate the Rajput characteristics in a person belonging to the certain caste. And so therefore, my father's name is Virendra and his full name is Virendra Singha. And my grandfather's name is Chandra. And when I was born, and as I typically like to point out, for utter lack of creativity and for no other reason, some of the relatives wanted to name me Dhirendra. And convenience, because Virendra Singha sounds very easy, but it also has a good rhyme to it. But my mother's mama, who said ki nahi, thoda aur effort dalte hain, so they decided to take a day off and do some research and come back with more names that start with the words the, because that's what the Rashi had said. जो थे महाभारत के character, alter name or other name is called धर्मराज. तो ये suggest किया गया and लोगों ने कहा कि चलो धीरेन्द्र से तो अच्छा ही है, कुछ effort तो लग रहा है, and they decided to name me Dharmaraj. So that's the literal reason behind the name. But I often joke that my name seems like it's come with a JD of its own, a job description of a kind, जहाँ पे आपको नाम तो दे दिया है, अब ऐसा लगता है कि इसी प्रकार और इसी हिसाब से आपको जिंदगी जीनी होगी, right? And it almost feels like a test on a consistent basis कि ये situation है तो क्या मैं धर्मराज वाली जिंदगी जी रहा हूँ, or if I'm making a certain choice, is this the kind of choice that a Dharmaraj is supposed to make? So sometimes people also ask me कि why do you do the kind of work that you do? And I tell them that मेरे मम्मी पापा, or there's no other reason but because I have a certain name with a certain kind of JD.
And does the name Dharm, does it ever weigh in on you?
Initially it used to. I think when I was reflecting or thinking early on in my life, especially my professional life, about a lot of aspects of career choices, of the kind of work that I wish to do. And because I do believe that names also have a deeper purpose. If nothing else, I think it's a good way to not just call out someone or label someone or something by a certain name, but I think it also allows for one to think about certain aspects, reflect on it. And I think मेरे case में वो होता है, where every time somebody asks me stuff like the meaning of my name, for example, it's a good opportunity for me to reflect and assess key, whether it's work, whether it's my personal life, whether it's all other relationships and stuff, even things that I consume, videos मैं देख लूँ, गाने सुनता हूँ वगैरह, is that in alignment with what a Dharmaraj or somebody who's aligned with the higher truths in life is supposed to be doing. कभी थोड़ा ज्यादा intense हो जाता है when I think that I'm getting too philosophical or too critical, but I think that sort of is a good way for me to keep bringing myself back to a center of sorts and then go back to what I was doing.
So, Dharmraj, what you do is a lot related to volunteering and several facets of volunteering, actually. How did this seed really germinate?
There couldn't be any other reason but my family. There are so many stories that I have of how almost on a daily basis I was taught. जब बचपन में करते थे तब उसे volunteering नहीं कहा जाता था. There was no label or there was no categorization, या ऐसे कहते नहीं थे कि ये कर रहे हैं तो हम volunteer कर रहे हैं. But volunteering to me basically means that you're doing something without either benefiting directly from it or doing with an objective of benefiting directly from it. You may benefit from it indirectly, but वो आपका objective. One of my favorite stories to share is from the early 90s. तो तब तो ऑब्वियसली गूगल मैप्स या कुछ और था नहीं, तब तो दुनिया का जीपीएस यूज्ड टू बी और कॉर्नर किराना स्टोर और पान वाले की आप पूछो कि ये कहाँ पर है, ये फ्लैट कहाँ पड़ता है, दे विल टेल यू कि ऐसा यहाँ जाना है, लेफ्ट लो राइट लो. एंड हम एक एरिया में रहते हैं जहाँ पे जो प्लॉटिंग सिस्टम है लाइक 43, 44, 45 एंड देन 46 इज लाइक समवेयर वेरी फार अवे. तो एक संडे को मेरे पिताजी ने कहा कि चलो एक प्रोजेक्ट करते हैं, एंड आई वाज इन क्लास 6th देन. तो मैंने कहा ठीक है. तो हमने एक प्रोजेक्ट शुरू किया विच वाज बेसिकली टू जस्ट वॉक अराउंड द नेबरहुड एवरी संडे फॉर अ कपल ऑफ आवर्स. एंड पिताजी ने कहा तुम एक पेपर ले लो, एग्जामिनेशन पैड ले लो एंड अ पेंसिल और अ पेन. तो हम वो लेके रोज निकल जाते थे, हर संडे को निकल जाते थे टू मैप द होल एरिया. एंड ही वुड मेक मी ड्रॉ ब्लॉक्स कि अच्छा ब्लॉक के हिसाब से ब्लॉक्स बनाओ, उसके ऊपर प्लॉट नंबर और बिल्डिंग का नाम लिखो. एंड वी डिड दैट फॉर अ फ्यू वीकेंड्स. उसके बाद माइक्रोसॉफ्ट कुछ चीज होती है वो सिखाता हूँ. That's my first introduction to Microsoft Word and the whole office suite really. And next thing I know वो बता रहे हैं ऐसे rectangle draw करते हैं, बिल्डिंग कितनी बड़ी थी उसके proportion के हिसाब से, let's draw the whole layout. And हमने layout draw कर लिया, label कर लिया नंबर और नाम के हिसाब से. And I still didn't understand why are we doing this. And फिर हम print करके we made multiple copies of that. And then we gave those copies to all the kirana shop owners, all the pan wala bhaiyas, and everybody else who was the default GPS of that time. And said ki, and and we also stuck it in various places. टेलीफोन का जो डब्बा होता था उस पे चिपका दिया, कॉर्नर नुक्कड़ वगैरह पे चिपका देते थे. एंड एवरी टाइम आई वुड लुक एट दैट एंड आई वुड फील सो हैप्पी दैट अच्छा ये हमने किया था. और कहीं भी ऐसा नहीं कि नाम लिखा है कि हमने धर्मराज ने किया है या हमारा है. इट वाज जस्ट अ शीट ऑफ पेपर विद ब्लॉक्स, नंबर्स एंड बिल्डिंग नेम्स ऑन इट. एंड नाउ दैट आई रिफ्लेक्ट ऑन इट, राइट, it was one of the best things to have ever done as a kid in 6th, right, where you walk around the weekends, you are in awe of what you're absorbing, but you're also helping the world navigate the place better, quite literally in that sense, without attaching any sense of ego to it. कैसे ये मैंने बनाया या ये हम कर रहे हैं to help people. We just did it because it was a problem and somebody had to solve it. So that this and like thousands of other stories that I have around how the seeds literally of what I do, why I do, were sown by my parents.
And is their life also something similar?
Yes, they do a lot. I think, in fact, sometimes I think they do a lot more than I do in a direct capacity because of the kind of upbringing they've had, the kind of value systems they have, which is derived from so many sources, including scriptures, including the faith that they practice and all of that. So they do that, but in a very different way. But I think it manifests more directly through what I do.
जो example आपने दिया, I'm just tempted to put in a little bit on that. पर आजकल बहुत prevalent है corporate world में ESG, environmental social governance.
Yeah.
और मैंने उसको अपना एक interpretation दिया हुआ है on the little bit intangible side, that E of environment is actually E of the empathy. You need empathy to understand the environment. You need service to understand the social, and you need goodness of action to understand the governance. तो ये बिल्कुल जो आपने एग्जाम्पल दिया ESG वाला एग्जाम्पल था, जहां एम्पैथी भी थी, सर्विस भी थी और गुडनेस ऑफ एक्शन भी था. कभी मैंने ये सोचा नहीं था, और शायद कई लोग जो भी सुनेंगे इस कॉन्वर्सेशन को, दे वुड नॉट हैव थॉट कि भाई पान वाले के पीछे भी कोई GPS बनाने वाला है.
Yeah. Yeah, I think बहुत सुंदर इंटरप्रिटेशन है. बाय द वे, आई एम स्टिल रिफ्लेक्टिंग ऑन इट. ये जो आपने ESG को एक अलग नजरिए से देखा है, I think looking at not just this instance but काफी और instances को मैं अगर सोचूंगा उस लेंस के नजरिए से, तो I think it just resonates very deeply with me. And उस पर्सपेक्टिव से इसे अगर देखा जाए, उसका जो डेप्थ है, पोटेंशियल है of impact, and how one thinks about these aspects around environment, around social, around governance becomes more relatable, because काफी essence घूम जाता है in using jargons. वो jargon यूज करते हैं ना, तो उसमें उसका जो असली, तो आई थिंक just adding this sort of perspective where it's more relatable makes it more accessible as a concept, है ना. तो जैसे ESG का भी मैं थोड़ा इस पे विचार कर रहा था कि क्यों आजकल ये ट्रेंड हो रहा है. कंसेप्ट तो बहुत पहले से है, बट आजकल ये क्यों ज्यादा दिख के आ रहा है. इनफैक्ट अभी कुछ दिन पहले ही मैं आर्टिकल भी पढ़ रहा था जहाँ पे लिखा था कि ESG फंड्स जो होते हैं उसमें जो इन्वेस्टमेंट हुई है वो 4 times बढ़ चुकी है इन द लास्ट 1 year. And my only reaction to that was this generation, right? Millennials kahe ya who make every choice, because everything that we do, whether it's liking something on social media, whether it's making a certain career choice, whether it's deciding how I spend my time, my energy, my skills, or even buying stocks. It's not just an investment in the company, but it's also an investment of the value system that the company stands for. And it touches all these important aspects around environment, around social and governance as well. Because even when we look at millennials, जब कहते हैं कि हम workspace देखते हैं, तो they look at various factors such as inclusivity, तो वो governance side में आ जाता है. They look at how are we being environmentally responsible, carbon footprint, काफी parameters को देखते हैं. तो क्या हम responsible हैं उस तरीके से, and even social, right? Like what's the impact we are having on the larger world with what we are doing. So it's really amazing how the generation with more awareness, with a heightened sense of awareness, is now using so many different unique ways of voicing their opinion, and not just sharing on social media or having conversations about it, but also deciding how much a company should be worth depending on the value system that it not just says it has, but also practices year on year.
हाँ, बस इसमें शायद एक यही डिस्कम्फर्ट होता है, और अपना धर्म देखना एक एक्टिविटी, एक इकोनॉमिक एक्टिविटी बना दिया जाता है. एंड देन देयर आर मेनी पीपल हु डोंट मीन इट, but for being known as EFG, do it. So when you do something which you don't mean, I think that is disastrous.
In fact, ये जो मैंने लास्ट वीक आर्टिकल का, I would suggest if people are interested to know more about this particular aspect जो आपने कहा around how some of these things may sound different, but actually उसका जो application होता है वो काफी अलग होता है. तो मॉर्निंग कॉन्टेक्स्ट नाम का एक पब्लिकेशन है which had done a very nice article on ESG and SEBI is trying, how SEBI the industry body is trying to develop regulations, because वो कह रहे थे कि एक कंपनी जो environmentally disastrous है, but Nifty 50 के ESG network में it's listed as one of the best ESG companies, which is actually not possible. and similarly, there were so many other challenges around the policy. But I think it's just like anything else, वो शुरुआत है. There will be some trial and error, and वो करते करते थोड़ा time लग जाएगा. But it's a good start, nevertheless.
You have been brilliant at academic, sports, extracurricular activities. You have assumed leadership in various activities as you have grown up. You never felt that I could do much more in other areas, I could make more money, I could get more recognition, and you jumped yourself into the area of service and volunteering completely?
Again, इसका भी credit मैं दूंगा parents को ही. I feel every time I talk to people who say, I wish I could also do this. Yeah, so sometimes I change my surname to So Lucky instead of So Lucky. I say, because I feel that while this is an option which a lot of people can do, I don't think जो मैं कर रहा हूँ is something extraordinary. I feel कि the opportunity I think is available to a lot more people. Whether they are able to actually take up that opportunity or not is a function of various factors such as family support, whether it's them thinking what you can actually do in the world and giving you the freedom to choose what you want to do. Like, opportunity काफी लोगों को मिल सकती है, but to be able to use that opportunity is something that only a select few, lucky few like me get a chance to do, thanks to the sort of ecosystem I have around me. ऐसा नहीं था कि opportunities नहीं थी. I think campus placement से काफी job offers थे. I feel that I was one of those people who was so interested in extracurricular stuff that I would actually not just be interested in academic stuff, but after a point I would understand कि कुछ तो formula होता है इन चीजों को crack करने के लिए, right? Like exams को देने के लिए आप एक certain तरीके से आप exam लिख दो तो अच्छे number मिल जाएं, आप कुछ certain चीजें कह दो तो आपको अच्छे number मिल जाएंगे. So I think I was one of those kids who was able to do that quite well, and because I wanted to save time for other things, right? कि अच्छा इसमें अच्छे number आ गए तो volunteering कर पाऊंगा, ये हो गया तो मैं यहाँ जाके सिखा सकता हूँ वगैरह वगैरह. So I was very judicious with my time because I wanted to use it as much as I can for other things outside of academics. तो ये मैं शुरू से ही करता था. स्कूल में भी बहुत किया मैंने, कॉलेज में भी करते आया. And to be honest, जब तक कॉलेज में था I never felt of a career in the social sector for the simple reason being that मुझे पता ही नहीं था that ये इसे full time किया जा सकता है. जब तक मैं कॉलेज में था I just thought that it's something again people do in their free time and in a voluntary capacity, just like a lot of young people who don't think that social sector could also be a full time profession. So we continue to volunteer in many different organizations. सीख जाते थे हम, मैं और कुछ दोस्त धारावी में community center में काफी. We worked on a mangrove conservation project here in Navi Mumbai towards the end of my college years, etc. तो काफी कुछ किया, and तब जाके फिर धीरे धीरे समझा कि नहीं यार, इसमें भी आप career कर सकते हैं. I started meeting a lot of people who've dedicated their whole life to working in the social sector. And तब जाके वो थोड़ा perspective develop हुआ कि यार ये is an alternative option should I ever decide to do this. And then I had to decide between the offers that I had from campus and choosing this alternative path, dharma ka path, as I call it. And the single factor, again, if I were to think about that time when I had to decide between the two, was family का support है या नहीं है जो मैं कर रहा हूँ उसमें, right? What is their view on this? And they said कि देखो, if you want to do this, you should do this for two reasons. One is आप इससे बहुत ज्यादा contribute कर पाओगे in a much more direct way than they have been doing so far. And दूसरा उन्हें लगा कि आप किसी भी कैंपस, टिपिकल मास प्लेसमेंट कैंपस कंपनी में चले जाओ तो हजारों लोगों को वो भर्ती करते हैं ना, कोई आईटी हो, मैकेनिकल, मैंने मैकेनिकल इंजीनियरिंग किया तो वहां पे भी काफी नंबर में वो लोग लोगों को रिक्रूट करते थे. तो मेरे पास एक सिंपल डिसीजन था, सो आई नैरोड इट डाउन टू जस्ट वन कॉल कि गिवन अ चॉइस आई कैन बी अ धर्मराज इन एन आईटी कंपनी, जस्ट वन ऑफ द मेनी धर्मराजेस इन द आईटी कंपनी जो किसी क्यूबिकल एंड विल डू वेल फॉर द कंपनी, अर्न अ डिसेंट लिविंग एटसेट्रा, और आई कैन बी द धर्मराज हु डज द अदर थिंग, राइट. एंड मुझे ऐसा लगा कि वो जो धर्मराज हैं, जो पहले वाले धर्मराज हैं, who get a chance to sit in a cubicle and do what the company is asking them to do and work for a corporate entity, वैसे हजारों हैं and हजारों चाहते भी हैं वो opportunity, but there are fewer who want the other opportunity and are also able to use that opportunity, right. तो मुझे लगा कि एक धर्मराज अगर किसी आईटी कंपनी में ना रहा या किसी मैकेनिकल, तो that is still a replaceable loss who may not have thought about this, but there will be very few people like me who have this urge कि हम ये दूसरी चीज करें, बट उन्हें वो चांस नहीं मिलता. तो अगर मुझे चांस भी मिल रहा है एंड इफ द कॉस्ट ऑफ डूइंग दैट इज लोअर, तो क्यों नहीं. तो ये थोड़ा लॉजिक हमने यूज करके आई डिसाइडेड टू डू दिस एंड आई बीन वेरी ग्रेटफुल for the kind of career choices I've made and where it has taken me.
Share with us how the journey has been from your, after you finished with your college till today. What have been the big milestones? What have you learned? What are the various different facets of volunteering?
Yeah, decide किया कि not to take up the corporate offer and join the social sector. The only question my parents asked was, will somebody hire you in the social sector? And I said, हाँ यार, क्यों नहीं करेंगे, मतलब इतना तो क्वालिफाइड हूँ मैं, इंटरेस्ट भी है, थोड़ा वॉलंटियरिंग एक्सपीरियंस भी था, तो मैंने काफी कॉन्फिडेंटली कह दिया कि. बट आफ्टर दैट आई स्टार्टेड अप्लाइंग टू अ लॉट ऑफ नॉन प्रॉफिट्स विदाउट नोइंग कि अच्छा क्या सिलेक्शन क्राइटेरिया होता है या क्या बैकग्राउंड वगैरह वो देखते हैं. एंड फॉर ऑलमोस्ट 2.5 months आई डिड नॉट हियर बैक फ्रॉम एनी ऑफ द ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस. नोबडी वांटेड टू हायर मी. तो ये तो काफी गड़बड़ हो गई. तो मैंने सोचा यार ये थोड़ा और सोच के लेना चाहिए था ये डिसीजन, या थोड़ा और पूछ लेना चाहिए था. बट देन आई रियलाइज दैट अ लॉट ऑफ पीपल सेड कि नहीं, आपके पास तो सोशल सेक्टर डिग्री नहीं है, एमएसडब्ल्यू बीएसडब्ल्यू आपने नहीं किया है, ना ही आपके पास प्रायर वर्क एक्सपीरियंस है, तो भी हम आपको नहीं ले सकते. तो इट वाज क्वाइट अ फ्रस्ट्रेटिंग मोमेंट टू बी ऑनेस्ट. मतलब मैं यहाँ पर चाह रहा हूँ कुछ करने और वहां पर मैंने वो ऑफर छोड़ दिए एंड थिंकिंग दैट कोई तो ले लेगा, आई हैव बेसिक कॉम्पिटेंसी टू डू ऑल द बेसिक टास्क, स्पेशलाइज तो, बट कोई लेना ही नहीं चाहता था. तो ऐसे करते करते 2 महीने निकल गए एंड आई स्टार्टेड अप्लाइंग टू दोज info@ ईमेल एड्रेसेस, careers@ पे मैं लिखने लग गया. आई वेंट फ्रॉम लिंक्डइन पे बहुत अच्छा नेटवर्किंग करने से इन अ स्टेट ऑफ डेस्परेशन, कैसे कर सकते हैं ये. So somehow one of the organizations was quite grateful. This is an organization in Mumbai that works with children and work tobacco and a lot of other causes prevalent in younger generation, including school children. तो उनके साथ मैंने काम किया, गॉट अ ग्रेट एक्सपोजर. बट वहाँ पे एक चैलेंज ये था कि द ऑर्गेनाइजेशन वाज टू लार्ज एंड बिकॉज आई वाज जस्ट अ स्मॉल पीस इन द लार्जर व्हील, फिगर्ड कि आई शुड बी स्पेंडिंग अ लॉट मोर टाइम लर्निंग बिफोर आई एम एक्चुअली कंट्रीब्यूटिंग. तो तभी मैंने वॉलंटियर करना शुरू किया विद एन ऑर्गेनाइजेशन कॉल्ड मेंटर मी इंडिया, जहाँ पे मेंटरिंग का एक एस्पेक्ट होता है. एन अडल्ट गेट्स पेयर्ड विद अ चाइल्ड एंड यू मेंटर देम वन ऑन वन एज अ वॉलंटियर. सो मैंने मेंटरिंग शुरू की एज अ वॉलंटियर. I slowly started recognizing that there are these kind of organizations which are younger, थोड़े न्यू एज होते हैं, थोड़ा एक अलग एस्पेक्ट, थोड़ा एक अलग अप्रोच होता है उनका सोशल चेंज के तरफ कंपेयर टू सम ग्रास रूट्स और ओल्डर ऑर्गेनाइजेशन. तो देन आई स्विच फ्रॉम द एग्जिस्टिंग ऑर्गेनाइजेशन टू मेंटर मी इंडिया. तो मैंने उनको फुल टाइम ज्वाइन कर लिया एज अ प्रोग्राम टीम मेंबर. And so I was being a mentor and a coordinator who was managing a cohort of mentor mentee pairs. And तब काफी magical चीजें. I discovered joy and happiness for me being around children, working with them. And what it also did was when we had these mentor pairs where an adult mentor, as I said, would work with a child and work on various aspects of the child, whether it's improving their self-confidence, self-awareness levels, communication skills. ठीक है, it's a one-way street, like one would typically assume कि mentor mentee को सिखा रहा है और mentee is gaining a lot in the process. बट जब मैं इस प्रोग्राम में थोड़ा और अंदर इन्वॉल्व हो गया, द पर्सन और द एंटिटी गेनिंग द मोस्ट इज एक्चुअली द मेंटर and not the mentor. But when you talk to the mentors and get very objective feedback and sometimes subjective also, and mentors would say things like, you know, I've had such a tough week at work and this is the only thing I look forward to in the whole week. I'm having such a personal crisis in my life right now, but talking to the mentee makes me more grateful for all that I already have. And suddenly I sensed this switch happening in my head where I felt ki in process mein where we feel ki the giver is not receiving really, and it's a one-way street. It's actually the other way around, and the mentors or the volunteers gain a lot more than they can ever. And that was true, validated by my own experience of being a mentor and by also facilitating this experience. So वैसे करते करते then I moved to another organization called Connect for, which is a platform dedicated to matchmaking of volunteers and opportunities. बिकॉज मुझे लगा कि एक अब एजुकेशन में मैंने तो थोड़ा देख लिया कि कैसे इसको अप्लाई किया जा सकता है वॉलंटियरिंग के एस्पेक्ट को, बट अदर एरियाज और अदर कॉज एरियाज लाइक एनवायरमेंट, सीनियर सिटीजन के लिए कोई कुछ कर रहा है क्या, पीपल विद डिसेबिलिटीज, व्हाट आर द वॉलंटियरिंग एस्पेक्ट्स विद इन ईच ऑफ दीज कॉज एरियाज. सो आई थॉट कि अगर मैं ऐसे किसी प्लेटफॉर्म पे काम करूंगा, आई विल बी एबल टू सी अ लॉट मोर ऑफ व्हाट आई सॉ इन जस्ट वन नैरो एस्पेक्ट ऑफ मेंटरिंग और एजुकेशन. So that's when I started working with Connect for as a team member, worked on creating opportunities, operations वगैरह वगैरह. Founding team थे, बहुत छोटी थी, काफी मजेदार काम किया of building sort of this platform to facilitate more volunteering to happen in India, and had a lot of fun doing that, both on just in terms of again learning about how volunteering can truly transform a person, and दूसरा मेरा ये जो cause areas के बारे में understanding था वो भी थोड़ा बढ़ने लग गया, right? So I started understanding something about some aspects of other cause areas in addition to education. But फिर भी मुझे उसमें लगा कि एक perspective missing है, right? When we are typically in the non-profit sector, we have one view of the problem, whatever problem we are solving, whether it's education, people with disabilities, environment. So it provides you with one lens. But I felt कि एक दूसरा perspective है government perspective, right? Where the reason a lot of these problems also exist is because not just there are not non-profits solving this problem, but some gap in the policy, whether it's policy design या पॉलिसी इंप्लीमेंटेशन विच इज कॉजिंग दिस प्रॉब्लम इन द फर्स्ट प्लेस, राइट? तब जाके एनजीओ आ रहे हैं टू ब्रिज दैट गैप टू सॉल्व दैट प्रॉब्लम. तो मैंने सोचा कि एक बार बाउंड्री के उस तरफ जाकर देखते हैं कि मांजरा क्या है, राइट? समझ ले कि हाउ डज दैट साइड ऑफ द सिस्टम वर्क एंड इज देयर अ स्कोप फॉर मी टू कंट्रीब्यूट मीनिंगफुली देयर. एंड दैट्स व्हेन आई एनकाउंटर्ड दिस फेलोशिप प्रोग्राम विद द government here in Maharashtra. अब बंद हो गया वो program, last cohort graduated last year, but they would select 50 people every year to work on various aspects of whether it's working directly with the district administration or working on policy design, policy implementation. And I think it's one of the most transformational experiences I've had in my life. And it changed a lot of things for me, including the fact that I started questioning my place. थोड़ा एक non-profit sector देख लिया, थोड़ा उसमें volunteering aspect देख लिया, अब गवर्नमेंट भी समझ गया, तो एक ऑलमोस्ट 360 डिग्री व्यू थोड़ा मिल चुका था. वी ऑल्सो वर्क विद अ लॉट ऑफ CSR फाउंडेशंस इन द प्रोसेस. तो मुझे लगा कि सारे जो मेजर स्टेक होल्डर्स हम कहते हैं, बट इसमें हम कहाँ पर जा सकते हैं, वेयर इज इट दैट आई कैन contribute the most, is the question that I started asking myself. And that led to again volunteering, because when I reflected back on my time doing all these things that I did over the years, volunteering continued to be that single biggest source of motivation कि जो मेरे जीवन में बदलाव आया है, creating the GPS map as a kid, or keeping that bowl of water in the balcony, or even how वो हेल्पेज का फॉर्म दिया जाता था बचपन में, हेल्पेज इंडिया, आप डोनेशन जाके कलेक्ट कीजिए. It was one of my favorite activities to do ever. Like every year I used to be the only kid who would look forward to getting that form. I'm like, lao form now. It's the only time when I would ask for a supplement also. I'm like, और मिल सकता है क्या मुझे? I want to collect more funds, right? So I would ask, because वो ₹5 का bucket tick mark होता था, वहाँ पे box होता था 5, 10, 15, 20, 50 and above. And again, my father used to accompany me, used to ask me how to seek funds, how it's okay to do that, and all of that. And again, helping me not just build my social consciousness, but also my confidence in life. तो मुझे ऐसा लगता था कि in retrospect, on reflection, how these small activities have made me the person I am. And if I could enable this sort of transformation for other people directly or otherwise, that I think would be a great opportunity to serve. And that's how I joined India Welfare Trust, which is focused on promoting large scale and long term volunteering in India by working with various organizations, including Connect for, and बाकी सारे जिनके साथ हम पहले काम कर चुके हैं, उन्हीं को हम support करते हैं to engage more volunteers in whatever it is that they do.
So the India Welfare Trust is conceived by Mr. Venkata Krishnan. He's, of course, great on the service and on the social side, but he's also an intellectual. And what kind of conversation did you have with him when he selected to have you in the trust?
I think I know how I felt and how was the experience, but I think I don't know if I've ever asked him this question, ki what was going through his mind when we had this conversation, because I remember it was a very long conversation. And people who know Venkat also know that he's very fast on emails. तो मुझे याद है मैंने अभी उन्हें एक email लिखा था बस I think somebody had tagged me, so this was very funny again, and but I never heard back from them कि मैं select हूँ या reject, but that trustee had tagged me on Venkat's post for recruiting and said कि धर्मराज सोलंकी you should apply for this. तो उस दिन दो चीजें हो गई, एक तो कि it was good to receive that recommendation from him that I should apply for a position with Venkat or with India Welfare Trust, and दूसरा कि मैं reject हो गया उनके trust में, ये भी मुझे उस दिन उस tag के because otherwise I hadn't known. But obviously I'd heard of Venkat. I'd met him a couple of times before this conversation through Dan Utsav, through some of the earlier work with Connect 4 and with Mentally India, that we didn't approach it as a interview conversation. I think it was more a very long conversation. I think it lasted for about 3-4 hours, if not more. Very free flowing around why are you doing what you're doing? What gives you motivation? Why do you want to do this? What is your true perspective on volunteering in India? So काफी free flowing था, just around understanding each other. And I think he was also very good to know his side of things, right? So very few people actually make the effort of sharing this with a potential employee, not even like an employee. Why are they doing what they are doing? What is their purpose? What is their vision? Not just as a statement, but in terms of the kind of choices they've made, right? In terms of their vision, and how that is also rooted in some stories, some theory of change, which is more rooted in a belief system or philosophy. I got to get to know this more directly than through some section on a about us section of a website or somewhere. We spoke about very good instances of when I first volunteered, when he first volunteered, how it has shaped his life, how it was very similar to how it also had a major influence on my life, etc. I am known to talk about a lot in terms of how I've gained so much working with Venkat, working with India Welfare Trust, other people also in the organization, that it's just, I think it's, people often ask me कि अरे तुमने पढ़ाई आगे सोचा नहीं है अभी करने का, बी स्कूल जाना या ऐसा कुछ, तो मैं कहता हूँ जब मैं एक बी स्कूल के बारे में क्यों सोचूं जबकि मैं एक बी स्कूल में हूँ, बीई school where where I'm learning how to be in a professional context, in a personal context, from possibly one of the best people in the space. So every day since then, it's been almost 2 years now that I've been with India Welfare Trust and with Venkat. And I think every day feels like a boot camp. Every day feels like something new to learn in terms of what we are doing, how we are doing it. And बहुत ही ज़्यादा मज़ेदार रहा है so far.
And any specific incidents to share which is absolutely indelible for you?
I think there are too many, but one that I think has a deep impact on me, and I think also has a deep impact on other people who work with Venkat in many different capacities or with the trust also at a more broader level, is the philosophy. Okay, I've been reading a lot of scripts, including commentaries on the Gita by a variety of authors. And जब भी मैं पढ़ता था ना, तो हम पढ़ते हैं, and my dad also has derived a lot of his purpose in life from the Gita. He likes to refer to that as the single most moral compass, other compasses in life. तो मैं थोड़ा पढ़ता था, फिर मैं और पापा डिस्कस करेंगे कि अच्छा क्या लगता है इस एस्पेक्ट पे, एंड ऑलमोस्ट 99% ऑफ द टाइम्स आई वुड से जब भी मैं कुछ पढ़ता था कि यार ये ऐसा बता रही है गीता कि ऐसे आपको करना चाहिए, या दिस इज हाउ यू प्रैक्टिस अ सर्टेन एस्पेक्ट ऑफ द गीता, राइट? बिकॉज गीता इज वन ऑफ दोस स्क्रिप्चर्स व्हिच इज सेट टू बी अ फिलोसॉफिकल बट अ प्रैक्टिकल गाइड, where it allows you to define your actions in a very direct way compared to a lot of other scriptures. तो जब भी मैं गीता पढ़ता था और उस पर रिफ्लेक्ट करता था, मैं तो मेरा डिफॉल्ट रिस्पॉन्स पापा को ये रहता था, ये तो हम ऑलरेडी कर रहे हैं राइट? इफ द गीता सेज कि फल करो, फल की चिंता मत करो, डू नॉट बी अटैच्ड to the outcomes of your results. You should work towards a goal or a result, but not be attached to the outcome. And that is something that we do on a daily basis when it comes to India Welfare Trust or when it comes to working with someone like Venkat. राइट? तो मुझे लगता है कि जो भी ज्ञान की बातें हैं, हाउ वन शुड लीड आवर लाइफ इन द मोस्ट आइडियल वे पॉसिबल, इन टर्म्स ऑफ हाउ व्हाटएवर इट इज दैट वी डू, यू विल नेवर सी आवर नेम लोगो एनीवेयर, राइट? आपको कहीं नहीं दिखेगा कि सपोर्टेड बाय इंडिया वेलफेयर ट्रस्ट या व्हाटएवर, लाइक कहीं नाम लोगो कुछ नहीं दिखेगा आपको. एंड इट इज सच अ लिबरेटिंग फीलिंग. इट्स अ लिटिल काउंटर इंट्यूटिव. आपको लगता है कि नहीं नहीं वो ईगो वाला जो है आपको, तो यू विल फील गुड if you get some sort of recognition, validation, but when you go to the other side, वो थोड़ा सा एक friction होता है, but when you go to the other side, it's really a liberating feeling where, because you're not attached quite literally in terms of your ego not being attached to the outcomes of what you do, you are able to do, and people enjoy working with you because they know कि अच्छा इनके साथ काम कर रहे हैं, तो they don't expect anything in return, whether it's name, recognition, money, anything at all. So I think that philosophy which guides our work is one of the greatest gifts that I practice on a daily basis or get to practice on a daily basis.
So profound.
Yeah.
जो ये शब्द है leadership, शायद there is probably no other word which has as many definitions and descriptions as it has, and every individual also has his own definition of leadership. तो मैंने एक leadership के ऊपर, and I called it the 247.
Uh-huh.
And that is chapter 2 of Bhagavad Gita, verse 47. कर्मण्येवाधिकारस्ते मा फलेषु कदाचन. तो और मेरा अपना इंटरप्रिटेशन, और ये अभी अभी की बात है, कुछ ही हफ्तों पहले की बात है, मेरा अपना इंटरप्रिटेशन था कि भाई जो ये वर्स बताती है और जो सेल्फ लीडरशिप वो सिखाती है, उस सेल्फ लीडरशिप में सब कुछ है, सारे प्रकार की लीडरशिप उसमें.
I'll definitely remember this. 247 is
या तो मुझे ये कॉमनैलिटी हमारे में होगी, इसकी जानकारी नहीं थी, शायद आपको भी नहीं थी, बट दैट्स सो वंडरफुल टू डिस्कस दिस कॉमन टॉपिक. वॉलंटियरिंग इतनी डिफिकल्ट क्यों है? हाउ कैन वन ओवरकम दिस डिफिकल्टी? व्हाई डू मोस्ट पीपल who can do it, who have the possibility, shy away from it or are not able to commit themselves to it?
I think there are two reasons that I can think of. One is the whole logistical piece of it, right? कि जब कोई volunteer करना चाहता है, तो there are too many factors involved. कि आप you want to volunteer for a certain cause at a certain time, offer a certain skill and only in a certain way. तो जब आप चाहते हैं कि आप volunteer करें, certain चीज ही करनी है and not any other way, and तभी करोगे जब आप free हो, obviously, and it should be accessible वगैरह वगैरह. So I think the constraints that are involved in finding the right opportunity बहुत ज्यादा मुश्किल होता है to discover the right opportunity unless you are at it constantly कि आप you're okay with doing something, having a bad experience, and then yet persistently seeking the right opportunities to volunteer for. So I think matchmaking weak है अभी because of the kind of ecosystem there is. It's actually one of the things we are actively working on through our partner organizations जिनके साथ हम ये कोशिश करते हैं to see how we can make it more easy for people to volunteer. So our within India Welfare Trust, the project that I work on is called Every Indian Volunteering. So हमारा aspiration है कि हर Indian अगर कभी चाहे कि वो volunteer करना चाहे तो they should at least find the right opportunities. But how do we create that environment where everybody gets a chance to volunteer? तो वो chance अब नहीं है because typically जब आप देखते हैं कि volunteer you look for वो जो philosophy वाला मैंने कहा disconnect, right? You always think of yourself as the giver and not the receiver. Right? So ये जो second aspect है, which I think prohibits people from doing as much volunteering as they possibly can, is the fact that you'll always want to think of yourself as a volunteer for something or for somebody else and not yourself. And I was just discussing कुछ दिनों पहले मेरे एक दोस्त के साथ कि कोविड ने वो बदल दिया है in some ways if you think about it. If you'll notice पिछले कुछ महीनों में स्पेशली लास्ट ईयर से काफी ज्यादा लोगों ने वॉलंटियर किया है एंड इट वाजंट स्ट्रक्चर्ड. काफी लोगों ने खुद रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी ले ली ऑफ वेरीफाइंग इन्फॉर्मेशन, ऑफ बिकमिंग डोनर्स, of distributing food items, of connecting people, etc. And तब कोई resistance या friction नहीं था. The urge to volunteer was so powerful, so strong that you did not wait for a right opportunity. You just volunteered however you could in a formal, structured manner or otherwise, जैसे आपको सही लगा, right? And COVID or a pandemic is also one of those rare situations where instead of just being the giver, you also sometimes are likely to become the receiver of a volunteering support. Mindset होता है कि मैं तो volunteer हूँ, मतलब I am doing somebody a favor or I am the giver and I can't gain anything in return. This mindset shift requires a lot of not just volunteering but also processing and reflection of what volunteering has done to you as an individual. And I think COVID just was so massive an impact on everybody's life, including aspects such as volunteering, जहाँ पे आप volunteer कर भी रहे थे, but आप volunteering से where if you or any of your family members or friends or colleagues were in need of any kind of support during COVID, right? Whether it's medicines, whether it's hospital में beds availability वगैरह, you also relied on other volunteers, right? So ये जो role switch हुआ वो काफी बढ़िया था. I think it allowed a lot more people to embrace volunteering from a more detached sense and not the sense of a giver only. Yeah. So one is the logistical piece and the other is the philosophy guiding what people.
I think ये तो बहुत ही, this is a very good perspective which you gave, that they only think about giving. It's not about what we will receive from that. And sometimes the receiving doesn't happen at that very same instance. It is a process which takes place sometime during your lifetime, or who knows, maybe in the lifetime of the generations which you are leaving behind.
Right.
Yeah, never thought about that. Very beautiful perspective. What have been some of the most ordinary people who have influenced you over the years? Any sharing from there? And coming from the area of volunteering.
I think actually one of my first strong influences, it's actually not a ordinary person or a real person, I would say, is Anil Kapoor from the movie Nayak, where he's said to be the, I think, everyday hero, ordinary hero. कुछ subtitle है वो Nayak movie जो थी उनकी, उसकी. And I can't tell you how deeply influenced I was as a kid watching that movie. And मैंने देखा कि यार, there is this movie where you have Anil Kapoor as a lead character who is a journalist. but then he's so frustrated with the social civic problems in his life, political problems also, that he confronts the chief minister, and then suddenly he gets a chance to be the CM or the chief minister for a day.
Yes.
Right. And during the course of the movie, he just goes on to do incredible but also sometimes impossible things, like just giving away resignation orders, putting up complaint boxes, etc. But as a kid, when I think the first time I saw it, I was in grade 6 or 7th again, very deep impact on my psyche. And I felt कि यार ये अगर कर सकते हैं तो मैं भी कर सकता हूँ, right? What is stopping me from doing it? And I kid you not, when I was in school, वो स्कूल में इलेक्शन होता था, head boy prime minister. I actually stood for the elections for multiple reasons, but including the influence that Nayak had on me. I'm like, उसकी तरह हम भी क्रांति लाएंगे स्कूल में. And I stood for the elections, won the elections, and I actually installed those complaint boxes just like he had in the movie in my school. And I would go, I remember every Saturday when school की छुट्टी होती थी, I would cycle and go and open the complaint box, read complaints. फिर Monday जाके हम क्रांति करते थे. My equivalent of resignation, this thing used to be to pull up students from classroom, उनके complaint वो calendar में हम ये लिख कर देते थे कि bring your parents, notice वगैरह दे देते थे ऐसे करके. And my one of the other influences obviously was the teacher and principal and everybody who believed in me. तो इतनी ज्यादा मुझे authority दे दी थी कि आप ये सब करो. So although it's not an ordinary person per se, but the imagination at play in terms of what an ordinary person could do if they were truly motivated to do the right things in life. So that I would think was the first source that came to my mind right now as we spoke about it. But there is this other initial memory that I have while I was at India Welfare Trust. This was 2 years ago, where we had gone for a beach cleanup here in Mumbai. Mahim करके एक area है, वहाँ पे भी creek है, and उसके यहाँ beach cleanup होता है. तो Mumbai has a lot of beach cleanup groups now, where people go every weekend and clean up the beaches. So we were supporting the beach cleanup group, and we had showed up. It was a July morning, काफी बारिश हो रही थी, and we had invited quite a few people, like almost 200-250 लोगों को हमने बुलाया था. In addition to the people that typically are there Mahim beach पे जो cleanup group होता था वो. तो हम गए, and it was raining so heavily that I thought कि ये तो flop हो जाएगा, like people will not show up because it's raining so heavily. So it logistically मुश्किल है. काफी students थे, वो फोटो भेज रहे हैं, सर हमारे यहाँ पानी भर गया है, मुझे आना है, बट मम्मी कह रही है मत जाओ, डूब जाओगे. So I'm like, obviously it's unsafe. So I was not very hopeful कि ज्यादा लोग will show up. But I think more than 120 people had come that day despite the heavy rains. I remember the moment we stepped out of whatever cars, cabs, auto rickshaws, we were all drenched instantly. बरसात बहुत जोर से चल रही है. We couldn't see beyond 3 meters ahead of us. And the waves, high tide भी चल रहा था, बरसात भी हो रही थी. And despite that, people were volunteering and cleaning up the beach. So firstly, I was very happy to see that people literally overcoming all odds and showing up when they've committed to do something like this on a Saturday morning to come for a beach cleanup, because it was so much more easier for them to not show up, right? And say कि यार नहीं बारिश है हम नहीं आ सके, and nobody would have complained. But there was also this kid who had come, and वो काफी मतलब बरसात हो रही थी तो बहुत जोर से आ रहा था, थोड़े लोग हम लोग छुप रहे थे, झाड़ के नीचे खड़े हो रहे थे for the rains to subside and then go back again. But there was this kid who was constantly at it, मतलब वो कर ही जा रहा था, उठाई जा रहा है सामान, कचरा जो भी है, plastic waste, solid waste. And so I went and joined him, and we started discussing कि अच्छा हो. So he said Belapur, which is again almost 2 hours from Mahim by train, right? And I said, wow, like you made the effort of traveling so far. तो he said कि यार करना था. तो मैंने कहा ये तो सही है. तो मैंने कहा बट तुम नहीं करते तो? बोलते मैं नहीं करता तो कोई और कर लेता. But why should I depend on this thought that if I am not doing it, somebody else would do it, right? If I can, then I should. तो मैंने कहा ये तो सही है. And so it was one of those highs where I felt ki wow, like people coming with this spirit of volunteering is amazing. And then I noticed that he was limping while walking, while collecting the waste and buckets में हमको उठा dump करना था common जगह पे. And then I noticed that he was physically handicapped, right? So he was handicapped in his right foot and was wearing some sort of an accessory to enable him to walk, but walk as in limp even without carrying anything at all. But despite that, despite the rains, despite the heavy weight that we were carrying, he just did that for the rest 3 hours. And his only motivation in doing what he was doing is, if not now, then when? And if not me, then who? And it was so powerful for me to know that. And he was just some college graduate. He's like कि कोई और motivation नहीं है, certificate मिले ना मिले कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता, कोई सोशल मीडिया पे फोटो डाल के टैग करे ना करे कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता. बट मुझे जब पता चला कि सैटरडे मॉर्निंग ये एक चांस है जाके कुछ करने का, देन आई डिसाइडेड टू शो अप. एंड आई फील दैट you know I always go back to that memory every once in a while, where I feel that especially when it comes to volunteering, people typically volunteer when they have free time. मतलब वीकेंड सुबह में आप कभी कर लोगे, या आपकी कंपनी ने कह दिया कि ये फ्री टाइम आप तब जाके वॉलंटियर कर लो, या कोई फेस्टिवल हो गया, ओकेजन हो गया, right? Where you have a more external, extrinsic motivation to volunteer. And if anything goes wrong, you can always decide not to do it, right? Barish ho gayi, urgent work commitment aa gaya, something else comes up, and you can always decide to not do it. But the true spirit of volunteering, I think, is when it comes from within, where no matter what you do, no matter what the odds, if you still decide to show up only and only because you think it's important for every single individual to show up, and that's how truly a ripple effect is formed that way, I think is the essence of volunteering for me. So yeah, I think ordinary to nahi kahunga, I think they are extraordinary, wo zyada ordinary hai. Yeah, ordinary से ज़्यादा है, I think तब जाके ये possible होता है. But yeah, there are countless such examples that we have. I'll share one quick one also because it was this gentleman's birthday a couple of days ago and मैंने उन्हें wish नहीं किया था, so it's a good way for me to wish him using this medium. And the joy of giving दान उत्सव होता है हर साल 2nd October to 8th October, where there are different kinds of acts of giving that one can do. And हमने internally team में discuss किया था कि all of us will also do one activity or more activities in our individual capacities to get more giving happen. So मेरे दिमाग में एक आइडिया आया था कि फ्री राइड्स हम दिलवाएंगे, राइट? सो बेसिकली दैट ऑटो विल गो अराउंड द सिटी नॉट चार्जिंग एनीबॉडी एनीथिंग, एंड जस्ट ए क्रिएट दैट सरप्राइज एलिमेंट दैट फ्री राइड्स हैं, तो वी शुड आल्सो do something during the Joy of Giving week. And one day I took this auto from one place to the other, and Salim bhai was the driver through one of the apps, and I didn't know him before that. What does he think? And within that, me sharing that idea, in the next 5 minutes when I had to get down, Salim bhai had already signed up. He said कि अब ये हम ही करेंगे, right? Where he said कि भाई ये एक हफ्ते के लिए ये रिक्शा तुम्हारी है ना. And we decided that we'll raise some money to give him. उनका जो डेली एवरेज वो कमाते थे 1,000-1,500 रुपए के आसपास, we'll raise that money, give him in exchange for all the free services he'll offer. And उन्होंने पैसे मांगे भी नहीं, and he was like कि आप नहीं भी दोगे तो भी मैं ये करूंगा. But the spirit with which he went around the city is phenomenal. He not only offered rides like for longer hours than he typically rode his rickshaw around the city, but उन्होंने एक तो दान को हमने हाईलाइट कर दिया था, उड़ान खटोला, and as we called it, and so उड़ान खटोला was going around Mumbai offering free rides to anybody and everybody. तो एक टर्म एंड कंडीशन था कि जो फ्री राइड मिला बिठा लो, विदाउट आस्किंग कि कहाँ जाना है, नो सेइंग नो कि अच्छा यहाँ नहीं जाऊंगा वहां नहीं जाऊंगा, सभी को फ्री राइड. So there were everybody from daily wage laborers to school children to elderly people to people celebrating Gandhi Jayanti at some office. तो उन्होंने कुर्ता पहना था. And Salim bhai was so entrepreneurial. He said कि यार देखो मैं पैसे नहीं ले रहा हूँ आपसे, but there is this cause. So we found a cancer-based organization that said कि we'll put up a QR code. तो said कि आपको जो लगता है ना, आप QR code scan करके वो NGO को दे दो पैसे, whatever the ride is worth according to you. And so not only did a lot of people scan that QR code and gave money, some people also gave cash. तो सलीम भाई ने एक अलग pouch रखा था, and every 2-3 days we would meet and he will give me that pouch कि ये पैसे. But he would also take videos of people saying कि अच्छा कैसा लग रहा है आपको having been a part of उड़ान खटोला, selfie ले रहे हैं लोगों के साथ, people are tagging him on social media, and it just became an amazing experiment where this guy was just going around the city offering free ride. And काफी लोगों ने कहा ये आपने चिपकाया है, RTO वाले पकड़ेंगे. बोले अरे कोई बात नहीं, अच्छे कॉज के लिए थोड़ा सह लेंगे हम. And he just did this with the greatest spirit of service, and I'm so grateful. I think it's one of the most amazing experiments we've done. And Salim bhai is still a dear friend, and उनका birthday था 2 दिन पहले, Facebook पे मैंने देखा था. And I think yeah, this is just one of the 1,000 stories, but 2 दिन पहले था तो मुझे याद है Salim bhai and how this has touched me so deeply.
You know, talking to you, I get out of words. क्या बोलूं मैं इस चीज के लिए, other than this? What did you say in volunteering? The giver doesn't understand how much he is receiving, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And once that understanding comes, then volunteering is no longer a challenge.
And it's not even a task. It's a way of life.
And you used to roam around with some kind of a placard on your bag, which had on it a conversation starter.
Yeah.
What and why was that?
Yeah, it seems like a long time ago now that I don't get to carry it around because of COVID and restrictions. But so I've always had jobs which involved a lot of travel. Train में typically a fair bit of travel both ways, 1 hour minimum. तो मुझे लगता था कि I've had so many conversations which ऐसे ही ट्रिगर हो गए, कभी आमने सामने एक्सचेंज स्माइल्स, you become known to people. रोज आप सेम ट्रेन पकड़ते हो तो आपकी दोस्ती हो जाती है वगैरह. But so many of these times I would discover that people are already doing so much, but I don't know about it. People are doing such wonderful work for the world, but मुझे वो पता नहीं चलता. तो मैं काफी greedy हो जाता हूँ कि मुझे पता करना है कि लोग और क्या करते हैं, just to keep myself going and to keep sharing their stories. And दूसरा मुझे लगा कि there is also possibility to create more stories. I remember this is 2015 where this group called Robin Hood Army, which does food distribution and teaching now, very large now, बहुत popular. When we had just started, so Robin Hood Army only existed in Gurgaon, which is where Zomato का headquarter हुआ करता था, and Mumbai में they were just starting off, and we were struggling to recruit volunteers to come with us on weekend food distribution drives. And मुंबई में तो हो रहा था, मैंने कहा नवी मुंबई में भी शुरू करते हैं. तो दिस वाज अराउंड द क्रिसमस. तो मैंने क्या किया था, आई हैड स्टार्टेड वेयरिंग अ सांता क्लॉज कैप इन द ट्रेन एंड आई स्टार्टेड कैरिंग अ प्लैक कार्ड, अ वेरी रफ वर्जन ऑफ अ प्लैक कार्ड. बाद में तो बहुत सोफिस्टिकेटेड हो गया वो, बट एक वो ई कॉमर्स बॉक्स का कुछ, मैंने एक बॉक्स का एक साइड ले लिया था, उसके ऊपर मैंने एक लिखा बी रॉबिन दिस क्रिसमस या ऐसा कुछ मैंने लिख दिया था इन सांता. एंड मैंने उस पर लिख दिया कि हमसे जुड़े हैं, और पहले इंग्लिश में लिखा था और लिखा कि ये दिस इज रॉबिन हुड आर्मी, ये हैंड रिटन था. एंड आई टाइड इट अराउंड माय नेक यूजिंग शू लेसेस. आई रिमेंबर बिकॉज I was also running around that time. तो कुछ शू लेसेस एक्स्ट्रा मिल गए थे, तो आई एम लाइक धागा तो है नहीं, तो शू लेस लगा के गले में लगाकर आई वाज जस्ट रोमिंग अराउंड विद अ सांता क्लॉज cap to capture attention, and then the placard that people could read. Usse we ended up getting at least 15 odd people who joined us for the food distribution drives. And I'm like, ye to sahi hai. People like to read about this, get engaged if they want to, or just have a good conversation about it. तो वो थोड़ा थोड़ा improvise होने लग गया, where I felt कि this could be a good medium for again conversations, but also getting more people involved, hearing what they are already doing वगैरह. तो वो थोड़ा improvise होते गया over time, and it became a very sophisticated. तो फिर मुझे समझा कि नहीं, आगे नहीं रखना चाहिए, because people don't like to confront you directly and ask कि ऐसा ये क्या है, या थोड़ा awkward हो जाता है to read while they are staring at your face. Right? So I started tying it on my back, पढ़ सकते हैं, because they don't have to see me while reading it. फिर वो धीरे धीरे और उसके विकसित रूप होने लग गए. इट वेंट फ्रॉम अ कार्डबोर्ड प्लैक कार्ड टू अ मोर सोफिस्टिकेटेड पेपर वन, जिसके ऊपर मैं एक साइड हिंदी में लिखता था, एक साइड इंग्लिश में, बिकॉज आई रियलाइज कि इंग्लिश, तो आई वुड यूज बोथ साइड्स. और वो शूलेस अभी भी वही है, आई स्टिल यूज द सेम शूलेस, काफी टिकाऊ है. एंड इट्स स्टिल ऑन माय बैग, where every month I then on an average would take one placard depending on the theme. So for example, I've carried placards जब I remember बोर्ड एग्जाम्स आ रही थी, बोर्ड एग्जाम्स के रिजल्ट्स आ रहे थे, तो काफी एक पैनिक होता है, एंजाइटी होती है बच्चों में, पेरेंट्स में. सो देयर आर क्वाइट अ फ्यू हेल्पलाइंस टू हेल्प द स्टूडेंट्स एंड देयर फैमिलीज टू डील विद द स्ट्रेस लेवल्स ड्यूरिंग एग्जाम रिजल्ट पीरियड. तो वो हेल्पलाइन नंबर का मैं लेकर घूम रहा था, तो काफी पेरेंट्स ने वो क्यूआर कोड भी हम लगा देते थे उस पे, तो क्यूआर कोड करके वो इट विल बी लिंक टू द वेबसाइट ऑफ द प्लैकार्ड दैट आई एम कैरिंग. सोशल मीडिया हैंडल्स वगैरह लिख देते थे वगैरह. एंड सो एवरी मंथ वी वुड हैव अ डिफरेंट कॉज and different sort of a themed placard on collecting goods. So depending on the kuch there were some sites which told you about political neta, elected leaders who are standing for elections in your area. How do you compare them using some websites, right? तो जब election period था, तो मैं election to help people compare their candidates in their areas. But ये तो बहुत बढ़िया conversations उसमें से होते थे. दूसरा, I would discover so much about people. People would get this opportunity every once in a while that they'll write about, और दोस्त बन गए हम काफी सारे. बट देयर वाज आल्सो अ लॉट ऑफ फन कन्वर्सेशन, लाइक किसी ने पूछा ये इलेक्शन का आप लेकर घूर रहे हो, कौन सी पार्टी आपको पैसा दे रही है. एंड उन्होंने कहा था पर डे कॉस्ट कितना है, मैं भी कैरी करूंगा, मुझे कितना मिलेगा. and similarly so many wonderful conversations I've had, what people wish to do, what people are already doing, and how people in so many direct and indirect ways. And I think one of the best things about that, about most things that I do यार, मतलब ये न्यूज़लेटर वगैरह सारा कुछ है, is that ये मुझे लगता है कि वो थोड़ा सेल्फिश रीजन ज्यादा है. लोगों को लगता है कि मैं सेल्फलेसली ज्यादा कर रहा हूँ. आई थिंक सेल्फिश रीजन ये है कि आई कीप गेटिंग इंस्पायर्ड एंड मोटिवेटेड फ्रॉम पीपल. एंड रीजन ये है कि आई थिंक आई डिस्कवर दैट यू मे नॉट एक्सपेक्ट दैट पीपल आर डूइंग सो मच, बट अंडर द सरफेस आपको बस एक ब्रिज बनाने की जरूरत होती है. वंस यू डू दैट, ईदर थ्रू अ प्लैकार्ड, थ्रू अ कॉन्वर्सेशन, थ्रू अ वॉलंटियरिंग अपॉर्चुनिटी, you get to discover how the deepest desires for people in life is really to lead a happy life, to lead a meaningful life, to lead a purposeful life, and how small acts of kindness, whether it's during Dan Utsav, Salim Bhai riding an auto rickshaw around, whether it's the volunteer showing up at a beach cleanup drive, or people just reading a placard and deciding to do something in their own lives, is all it takes for people to have a good life. Yeah. Thanks, Jigyasa. Yeah.
और आपका रिंगटोन, कई ऐसे लोग होंगे, आप तो हैं और मैं भी हूँ, जो हेविली इन्फ्लुएंस्ड हैं. वैष्णव जन तो तेने कहिए पीड़ पर आई जाने रे.
पहला इंट्रोडक्शन था आई थिंक 2013 में, व्हेन आई वाज अ पार्ट ऑफ दिस प्रोग्राम बाय एन ऑर्गेनाइजेशन कॉल्ड यूथ अलायंस, जो काफी बढ़िया काम करते हैं अराउंड यूथ डेवलपमेंट थ्रू सर्विस. प्रोग्राम होता था फॉर इंस्टेंस वेयर दे वुड टेक youngsters to villages to reconnect with the roots that we have. So वहाँ पे एक सर्कल था. We were at the Gandhi Ashram in Delhi. I was so touched. I didn't know the exact lyrics also, but it just did something to me. It's a very pleasant song, and even if I didn't know the meaning, I think वो ऐसा लगा कि इसमें कुछ तो बहुत बढ़िया है, बहुत profound है, बहुत सुंदर है. तो and it has stayed with me since then. But then last year when we were working on a project, हमारी एक social worker से बात हो रही थी चेन्नई में. उनमें मैं तो इतना खुश हो गया for two reasons. One is it was good to listen to this in the medium of a hello tune, because it just वो जो आपने नाम वाला क्वेश्चन पूछा था ना कि it allows you to reflect and reset in a way कि आप जो भी कर रहे हो उसके पहले, and suddenly you listen to this and you reach a place of I don't know what it does to you or to others, but मेरे लिए तो जब भी मैं वो सुनता हूँ, it does some sort of a reset button thing to me. तो वो जब मैंने सुना था, I was so happy. So I told her कि ये कैसे करते हैं, तो उन्होंने बताया ये तो फ्री है, ऐसे ऐसे करके करना है. And instantly, right after this call, I said that as my hello tune. And the other good thing about that was, I feel that even if you don't know the meaning, it's good to set such kind of hello tunes, because वो कोविड इंस्ट्रक्शन सुन के अब लोग बोर हो चुके हैं थोड़ा. तो इंटरेस्टिंगली दिस मॉर्निंग, बिकॉज देयर इज अनदर सोशल वर्कर अगेन इन तमिलनाडु जिनसे मैं आज सुबह बात कर रहा था, राम नाम है उनका, again interesting, and we were discussing some amazing work that his organization Talent Quest for India is doing in mentoring and youth in Tamil Nadu. And Ram had asked me the same question जब हमारी last month बात हुई थी. And this morning when I called Ram, guess what, I heard the same song again.
और
तो
जैसे आप मुझे बोल रहे हैं, मैं यहाँ पे अपनी डायरी में लिख रहा हूँ वैष्णव जन हेलो ट्यून. So you have one more subscriber.
Awesome.
पर थोड़ा सा अपना सेल्फिश कारण है, जो ये ESG वाली बात हम करते हैं ना
जी,
तो मुझे लगता है कि दिस सॉन्ग इज द अल्टीमेट ESG सॉन्ग. तो मैं आपको समझाने की कोशिश करता हूँ, एंड प्लीज कंट्रीब्यूट इन दिस. वैष्णव जन तो तेने कहिए जे पीड़ पराई जाने रे, पर दुखे उपकार करे तो ये मन अभिमान ना आने रे. Empathy, the E of ESG, or the way I define ESG, empathy is in these beautiful lines. सकल लोक मां सहुने वंदे, निंदा ना करे केनी रे, वाच काच मन निश्चल राखे, धन धन जननी पेनी रे. The service, the social. And समदृष्टि ने तृष्णा त्यागी, पर स्त्री जेने मातरे, पर स्त्री जेने मातरे, जिह्वा थकी असत्य न बोले, पर धन नव झाली हाथ रे. गवर्नेंस और द गुडनेस ऑफ एक्शन. हाँ, आपके रिंगटोन सुनने के बाद कहीं पे ये ESG का मैं कुछ कोरिलेशन कर रहा था, और ये मेरे को ऐसा लगा दिस इज द अल्टीमेट ESG सॉन्ग विच कैन, और अल्टीमेट ESG गीत विच कैन एवर बी. और ये ESG से फिर स्पिरिचुअल पे भी जाता है, जब वो लास्ट पैराग्राफ में बोलते हैं मोह माया व्यापे नहीं जेने, दृढ़ वैराग्य जेना मन मारे, राम नाम सुन ताली लागी, सकल तीरथ तेरा मन मारे. तो ये spiritual ESG is coming from and should go into spiritual channels.
ब्यूटीफुल. मजा आ गया. अब तो एक अलग नया कनेक्शन बन गया. थैंक यू सो मच.
I think I'm just getting inspired to speak because you're sharing some such beautiful incidents. इतने सारे reactions throughout the day कि processing और reflection difficult हो जाता है, और जब वो difficult हो जाता है हम भी reactive mode में चले जाते हैं, और processing and reflection बराबर हो नहीं पाता है. How do you do that? Do you fail at? How much do you succeed at it? And what is your way of succeeding at it?
Short answer, yes, I feel at it. Long answer, I think work in progress. बाकी aspects of life में है. I may not have a lot of things to say about the processing and reflection part as of now, but I feel what I proactively do, which helps in the processing and reflection later, is to eliminate at the source. इतने stimulus होते हैं, या इतने triggers होते हैं, या इतने अलग अलग टाइप की चीजें होती हैं, either directly happening to you or coming to you through various sources. I have increasingly started thinking about this theory of signal versus noise, है ना. तो मैं source पे ही I try and see what is signal, what is noise. I try. तो जिस भी केस में, especially work केस में, वो I think मैं ज्यादा practice कर पा रहा हूँ, because that has very direct, like I'm able to understand कि इसका reflection processing से क्या impact हो रहा है in what I do. But वहां पर if I'm able to separate the signal from the noise and focus on the signal, and what can I be doing about it? Should I be doing different things? Should I be listening to other signals? So focusing on the signal makes the processing and reflection sharp. So more than, and I think it works both ways. One is focusing on the signal, the second is eliminating noise. Right? I think both are different activities, and I try to do both. यहाँ पे, for example, my sources now, when I read, when I consume, I try to give it as much thought as possible in terms of मैं क्या पढूं, क्या सुनूं, क्या सोचूं. Is it when initially one of the most amazing things he's taught us is this idea of circle of concern versus
Circle of
influence, right? So basically, the theory is that if you imagine two concentric circles, one is circle of concern, which typically should be the innermost circle or the inner circle, and the circle of influence should be the larger circle. The way we are conditioned to lead our lives is the other way around, where concern keeps expanding with no effort on even asking ourselves whether there are things that we are putting in the circle that we can't do anything about. So वो कैसे करें? At the same time, how do you expand your circle of influence? So as I said, वो दोनों है. Like एक तो आपको concern का circle जो है उसको limited भी रखें तो बेहतर होगा, and at the same time expand your circle of influence. So I try and do that, and I think इसमें philosophy, spiritual training plus work का बहुत ही useful योगदान रहा है. I think when it comes to even processing something like a pandemic and how it's affecting us on a daily basis, I think philosophy or these kind of foundational wisdom allows you to see patterns in life, knows you become aware that all of these are cyclical things that keep happening, just like other aspects of one's life. Emotions hain, stock market hain. There are so many things that are cyclical, and it's okay if you don't react to everything, right? And choose which ones to respond to. तो मैं कहूँगा कि reflection और नहीं है, I don't proactively do anything, but I try and focus on the source, and then how do I engage with it.
सिग्नल वर्सेस नॉइस बहुत अच्छा है. आई थिंक ये एक अच्छा क्विक टूल है साथ में रखने के लिए टू सी वेदर you are on the right side of things or you are erring on the other side. आपने शुरू में शायद बात करी थी being on the right side of things. Is how to practice this. I think there is an indication in signal versus noise, but is there something more to this?
There are connections between the two, because the way I define what is right is from understanding the signal and the noise and then making that connection. And secondly, also then deciding how do I want to engage with that. So for example, pandemic, and the right thing to do could be to constantly read about it, constantly make yourself aware, or to decide how you can act upon it and then serve, or to do so many other things. But if I'm able to understand that, okay, the noise is like there are so many options, which may not be noise per se, but at least my perception of it is a noise, and I choose to focus on the signal, which is over information is bad, misinformation is definitely worse. But even within that, if there is a possibility to do the right thing, which is to focus on what one can do in their personal capacity, in a voluntary capacity, how does one focus on creating more volunteering opportunities for people to volunteer, right? On doing the right thing in that context. So when I think about these things, I feel these things also tend to be more subjective than objective. I think obviously when leaders such as Gandhiji or any spiritual leaders also for that matter talk about the right thing, their heightened sense of awareness, I think, is as close to the ultimate truth or the ultimate right side, if I were to put it that way, right, as much as possible. But since we are all, at least I consider myself to be a work in progress, I feel that in that moment, whatever is the right thing to do, weighing all the pros and cons of all the other signals available to me, and then deciding that this is the real signal and this is the real essence of how I want to deal with a situation or how I want to make a certain choice, and not focus on all the other things, however they may feel to other people, is the right thing to do. So yeah, उस पे थोड़ा focus होता है.
धर्म आप शेयर करेंगे, आपने mental health पे भी काम किया. What is the biggest root cause of this problem, and what are you doing in the volunteering side to help people overcome this problem?
I actually have a theory, right, that I keep talking about more so that I think about it all the more and test it as much as I can. So my larger theory, which is compounded by many different things, including personal, professional, is that there seems to be, and I love your views and everybody else's views also on this, is that there seems to be a faith vacuum in this generation, at least the millennials or the generation after. The generation before ours, I feel that they always had one aspect of their life where they would drop their anchor, whether it's work, whether it's family, whether it's faith, whether it's religion, whether it's any other aspect, but they would know कि यार, this is the cornerstone of our lives, no matter what everything else might become, right? Things could change, people could go in, go out, etc. But एक जो aspect है, वहां पे हमारा faith बना रहता है, and you would live by that for the rest of your lives. But increasingly, my sense is, and this is linked to the mental health piece in some ways, I feel that because there is this sense of faith vacuum that we do not feel strongly about any aspect of our life, right? We may like to tell ourselves that we do. We may like to feel that an instant sense of gratification means purpose or means dropping an anchor, but it is not. And there seems to be a gaping hole, I feel, from this lack of faith in anything, whether it's, as I said, work, whether it's your own belief system, whether it's institutions such as marriage, family. I think because we are in this space where we are just questioning everything and not really saying ki, it's okay to not know answers to some questions and stop questioning some of these things and just believe, just drop this anchor and think that it's for the larger good. So I think that because there is this faith vacuum, which is also compounded by how we tend to be more skeptical when it comes to things like religion, to bhakti, to all these other aspects, that our life is almost guided by very instantaneous things. And I feel that everything that we try to do, even some of the mental health we see these days, is an effort to try to fill that vacuum by other hollow things, right? तो आप पहले से एक वैक्यूम है that आप कहीं पे आपको लग रहा है कि लाइफ में कुछ तो मिसिंग है, whether it's like the sense of fulfillment, whether it's happiness, whether it's purpose, and I try and fill it by getting a certain experience and getting that adrenaline rush and seeing कि अच्छा now I have filled that gap by this experience. But एक हफ्ता हो गया, 2 हफ्ता हो गया, that gap again shows up. So the fact that there is a vacuum and we try to fill that vacuum by more hollow things actually expands the vacuum. And I think that seems to be, at least to me, the root cause of a lot of non-clinical mental health issues, I believe, and even other issues that arise out of those, whether it's things that we see in our relationships, how people make choices. And I feel one of the best things that we've seen in volunteering is that it solves for exactly that. I am, to put it very crudely, if someone to think that I'm not good for anything. But if you were to mentor a child and the child says, no, Didi, bhaiya, you are everything to me. And suddenly you're like, okay, I may not mean anything to other people of my life, but this child at least sees some value in me. And that's when this sense of self-awareness happens because of that external gratification or validation that you get from being a volunteer. There have been countless scientific studies also done by a bunch of institutes around how mental health or how well-being more broadly is linked directly to volunteering and how it affects one's life as a whole. If you see, especially अगर आपको और specific चीजें देखनी, you also see how senior citizens volunteering. There have been countless studies again where they see cases of diseases such as Alzheimer's, right, or other sort of mental health issues which may get triggered, some of these hormones not kicking in your head, to put it more scientifically. And the source of those hormones are real life experiences. And one of those experiences could be volunteering. So जब आप volunteer करते हैं तो उससे वो hormonal release होता है, वो hormonal release होता है, you feel better at a mental level, and therefore your health, mental health and other well-being becomes better. We've also done some studies around people's motivation to volunteer. We've done some survey and we found that how one of my most interesting insights from that survey, बहुत कुछ सीखा है हमने उसमें से, which we done last year, one of which was the younger people, like people in the age bracket of 25, and said that the reason they want to volunteer because they want to apply their skills to an opportunity, right? कि हमने कुछ सीखा है कॉलेज से, लाइफ से, हम उसको अप्लाई करके कुछ देना चाहते हैं, give back. And older people on the other side of the spectrum, people above 50 and 60, say that they want to volunteer because they want to learn a new skill and not because they've experienced something and they already are proficient at a certain skill, right? Which is almost counterintuitive. Right? You'll feel कि नहीं ये तो 30 साल से ये चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट है तो इनसे फाइनेंस काम कराते हैं. They're like, नहीं, हमें नहीं करना ये, right? हमने जिंदगी भर कर लिया ये, बट आप हमें कुछ और करना बताइए. पौधे लगाएंगे हम है ना, एनिमल्स का केयर करेंगे, we'll do something else but not anything related to finance or chartered accountancy. So I think how different people also have different aspirations to volunteer is directly linked with their well-being, which is linked with the sense of hollowness, this vacuum, which we are trying to fill through different activities. But I think volunteering is possibly one of the best ways for one to do that.
I think ये faith vacuum की वजह से भी, is it right to say कि कहीं ना कहीं that power of discretion which one has to use in situations doesn't kick in, या जो हम हिंदी में कहते हैं विवेक और अविवेक के बीच में फर्क शायद वो faith vacuum दे सकता है, लेकिन वो उसकी absence की वजह से वो कर नहीं पाते हैं हम.
Absolutely, absolutely. Because I think if one has read any of these scriptures, like, and I think leaving the keeping the religious sentiment out of it, if one has to read very objectively, read any of the religious scriptures, I think जैसे आपने कहा 247 is a guide to leadership. And similarly, all aspects of your life, including discernment, where you're able to discern what is right, what is wrong, where you're able to discern whether you should be affected by certain things or not, whether you're able to discern what is important to leading a good life, a happy life, really. So discernment sense तो चला ही गया है, and because वो चला गया है, we seek whatever we are missing in that vacuum by whatever comes next, right? So we don't think कि अच्छा we'll wait or this may take time, but we are just happy with the next thing that comes to us, whether it's an experience, whether it's an object, whether it's some social recognition or validation. And I think it's just increasing with time. मैं वो एक बीच में जो documentary आई थी, social dilemma, मैं देख रहा था, And if you draw parallels between all of the stuff that we have spoken about so far, and how so many of these things are by default in the way our mind works, our psyche works, but how so many of these things are also by design, right? Where these companies or social media platforms understand you less from a technological standpoint, but more from a psychological standpoint. And then they exploit technology to use that psychological piece that they know about you. And I think it's continuing to expand the sense of faith vacuum, I feel. Yeah.
मैंने कहीं पढ़ा था कि जो शब्द है religion, it comes from the root words of re and legare, re legare, and re legare actually means to join back, and to join back means actually to join back with the self, or to join back with your original being without the identifications which one has created in life. This is a scripture which you may be aware of, Bhaj Govindam by Adi Shankaracharya.
Yes.
हाँ, और इसमें एक वर्स नंबर 30 है. बाकी सब तो बड़ी बातें हैं, लंबी बातें हैं, लेकिन जो ये शब्द यूज करते हैं इसमें नित्य अनित्य विवेक विचारम, मीनिंग continuously focus on distinction between vivek and avivek, or between what is truly permanent and what only looks permanent, or what is eternal and what is ephemeral.
Wonderful. I've been wanting to read some of the works by Adi Shankaracharya ji for the longest time. अब एक नया मोटिवेशन मिल गया है, आई थिंक.
और आजकल आप क्या पढ़ रहे हैं? Because I do understand that you are reading like crazy. So what are you reading now?
One, I'm reading this book called Gandhi the Man by a journalist called Ek. I also in the past 1 year जब मैं कोशिश कर रहा था कि भगवत गीता का कहीं से ज्ञान मिले, कुछ समझें, कुछ सीखें, अपने लाइफ में अप्लाई करें, बहुत कमेंट्रीज ट्राई की, and then I had to actually Google भगवत गीता easiest interpretation or something like that, or for dummies ऐसा मैंने कुछ किया. and I encountered this version by Eknath Easwaran ji. And मुझे Eknath Easwaran is this journalist in the early 1940s, 1950s, who was a journalist by training, but also had a spiritual bent of mind because of his training, because of his upbringing with his family. He also interestingly spent a lot of time with Gandhiji, covering his own life, the political atmosphere through his lens. And एक interesting चीज उन्होंने उस book में कही थी, that people often ask Gandhiji, ऐसे इंटरव्यू में पूछते होंगे कि आपकी लाइफ में बिगेस्ट इन्फ्लुएंस क्या है, या आप कहाँ से इंस्पिरेशन लेते हैं. एंड इंटरेस्टिंगली विनोबा जी also had said something very very profound and funny. मैं share is that he said this, and he shows the copy of the Gita, right? And he says कि this is my moral compass. This guides not just the personal, the political, but every aspect of my life. And Eknath Easwaran ji was so deeply stuck by it that he started reading it and came up with his own commentary on the Gita. तो एक मुझे वो commentary बहुत अच्छी लगी. I keep going back to that every once in a while. But then I also started reading other books by Eknath Easwaran because I like his language. Very easy, very super flowing type का एक ये लगता है आप जब पढ़ते हैं तो grasp कर पाते. So I read the Upanishads by Eknath Easwaran इसके पहले, and now I'm reading Gandhi the Man, which is basically how he saw Gandhiji apply aspects of the Gita in his life, from his early life in South Africa, England, and how at one point the Gita sort of became that turning point. So people often think that it's certain other instances of his life that made him do that, which is true at some level. But what is also not known is how he looked upon this scripture as his source of the whole transformation. And just एक side बहुत ही मजेदार story from Vinoba Bhave ji's life, who's also a disciple or a follower of Gandhi ji. And so Vinoba ji was also a political freedom fighter. Along with Gandhiji, used to work at the ashram वगैरह. And at one point he was imprisoned in one of the jails, I think Yerwada jail in Pune. And वहाँ पे political prisoners को अलग से रखा जाता था. Ordering books कि आप, and Vinoba ji would always ask for a copy of the Gita and Upanishad, or maybe like a couple of scriptures. Whereas all the other political freedom fighters who were like probably more woke political figures from that time would call for like very influential Greek mythology, कुछ Western philosophy, काफी कुछ मंगाते थे. But the jail authorities had this system where they would verify a book. So ऐसा नहीं कि आपने book मांग ली तो आपको book दे देंगे. They will check and let you know whether you can have this book or not. So other prisoners would often complain कि विनोबा जी आपको तो यार हम सब इतनी books मंगाते हैं, इतनी लंबी list, but हमको तो हमारी जो list है उसमें से आधी या कम ही books मिलती हैं. But आप जब भी list देते हो आपको सारी books दे देते हैं वो. ऐसा क्यों? तो विनोबा जी said कि because the kind of books I ask for are like the Gita and others wisdom wale scriptures, and these people, because of their lack of understanding of what this book means and can potentially have don't really fully grasp कि जो ये क्रांति आ रही है is not coming from all the literature that you all are reading, right? Is not coming from all the philosophical texts or any other revolutionary texts that one is reading, but is from this scripture. तो ये उनकी समझ में नहीं आ रहा है. इस वजह से वो मेरे सारे बुक्स अलाउ कर देते हैं without recognizing that this is really the source of the revolution that we have and not the kind of books that you are asking for. Yeah.
That's a lovely share. Lovely share. Or Dharmraj, you have been writing this newsletter, tinyletter.com.
Yes.
So how long
yes.
has this journey been going?
I think it's been almost 2 years now. It started as a selfless pursuit because of my association with the sector. काफी टाइम ऐसे लोग पूछते हैं मुझे दोस्त वगैरह की अच्छा आई वांट टू गिव बैक आई वांट टू कंट्रीब्यूट कुछ स्पेशल करना है तो कैसे करें सो हाउ डू आई हेल्प हाउ कैन आई हेल्प इज द क्वेश्चन दैट आई वुड ऑलवेज एनकाउंटर so while I'm happy to answer that directly, I thought that a newsletter or a blog of this sort is a good medium to keep sharing how can people help. So that's how it's, and I started it as a weekly thing. Beach mein thoda gap ho gaya tha where I would write like once every 2 weeks or month also. But now we are back to that rhythm of once a week. Hopefully we'll stay to it. But interestingly, it has now become a more selfish pursuit. So regardless of whether people read and people act based on what they read about. I typically write about any interesting campaigns happening, any nice volunteering opportunities, any like अब जब COVID peak पे था तो what are the places where people could donate if they were seeking places to donate, right? Some interesting initiatives happening somewhere else, etc. So काफी कुछ होता है. I think this week I'm inspired to write something around one story that I read about the Buddha a long time ago. But yeah, it's as I said, it's becoming more selfish in a way where I'm trying to use this as a medium to process and reflect. Maybe this is one of the tools and resources that I end up using, which is in the process of writing. I think more than anything else, it helps me make more sense of my thought process, what I'm thinking, what I'm being inspired by. तो शुरू है I think tinyletter.com.
आपने एक्चुअली काफी कोशिश करी कि आप मुझे आपके कुछ पर्टिकुलर न्यूज़लेटर पढ़ के डिमोटिवेट करें कि मैं पॉडकास्ट बट आई एम सॉरी यू हैव फेल्ड एट दैट. पर आप जैसे जो लोग हैं ऑन अ पाथ ऑफ गिविंग एंड नॉट सो वरीड अबाउट देमसेल्व्स, जब वो लोग सेल्फिश बोलते हैं मैं उन्हें कहना चाहता हूं कि वो एक्चुअली सेल्फिश है क्योंकि द सेल्फ इन देम इज द ईश्वर, सेल्फ ईश. तो सेल्फिश बने रहिए आप इसी तरह से.
I don't know कितने लोग ये पॉडकास्ट सुनेंगे या कोई सुनेगा भी या नहीं, बट मैं तो ये डेफिनेटली सुनूंगा just for these nuggets of wisdom.
I think you have been quite a decent consumer of a lot of podcasts and you do respect the medium. So what is it about podcasts that draws you?
दो चीजें हैं. I think one, again referring to that signal versus noise, I think everything that's more in the moment, breaking news type या तो social media पे या तो other forms of media पे is more in the moment. It's not something that somebody has researched, thought through, somebody is actively working on. So all kinds of podcasts, whether it's interviews, whether it's analysis of a certain topic, whether it's talking about different other fields, right? So I listen to policy podcasts, I listen to philosophical podcasts, I listen to entertainment podcasts, even stuff like people interviewing entrepreneurs, right? Talking about their journey of life. So I think it just offers a more nuanced way of consumption. I feel that it's not been created jaldbazi mein. I'm sure like you've spent so much time, not just for this, but the whole exercise you've been doing with so many wonderful people you've interviewed, the amount of effort that the host puts in into creating the show, the format, bringing the right set of guests. I feel the effort, behind the scenes effort that the people on both sides put in, the host in terms of the research and the guest also in terms of what they are saying, is not something that is very superficial or superfluous. It's guided by their own work of life, their own study, their own research. तो मुझे लगता है कि एक वो न्यूएंस मिल जाता है मुझे काफी एस्पेक्ट्स ऑफ टॉपिक्स में. सो आई डाइवर्सिफाई. आई लिसन टू एटलीस्ट regularly listen to about 10-15 podcasts, but overall listen to about 30-40 or more, and again across genres, across demographics also. In fact, one of the other reasons is ये जो echo chamber या bubble की हम बात करते हैं, right? I always feel that मैं ये social sector ये सब में हम थोड़ा काम करते हैं तो everything I read is about people from the sector only. वो वही चीजें कहते रहते हैं तो वो amplify होते रहता है. So I never am able to break through this bubble. But when I'm listening to somebody in the UK talk about philosophy, or just some entrepreneur in the US talking about capitalism in a very different light, I get a very different glimpse, a good sneak peek into a perspective, a way of life that my echo chamber currently doesn't allow me to do that. Going back to that same social dilemma, echo chamber, bubble wala challenge. So I think the podcast, because I'm voluntarily opting to listen to it, it allows me to choose what I consume over and over time. And I think दूसरा and more important factor is that I बर्तन घीसना कपड़े सुखाना एक तरफ, लाइक जब से लॉकडाउन हुआ है, घर से काम चालू है, वेंकट ने हमें वर्क फ्रॉम होम के साथ वर्क एट होम या वर्क फॉर होम फिलोसफी भी सिखा दी है, where he's asked us to also work for home. तो हम रोज सुबह कुछ कुछ करते हैं, मैं और मेरी कलीग. One good way of doing that is while listening to a podcast, because it doesn't require you to listen to it while looking at something. It's just happening at the back of your mind. तो 2x स्पीड पे जैसे भी करके, डिपेंडिंग ऑन द टास्क. जब मैं बर्तन ये कर रहा होता हूँ तो एक अलग टाइप का पॉडकास्ट सुनता हूँ, जब कपड़े फोल्ड करता हूँ तो एक अलग होता है, वो एक थीम भी सेट हो जाता है. So more than anything else, highly recommend podcasts to do your household chores more effectively and productively.
आपकी बाकी चीजों का मैं हाईलाइट बनाऊं ना या ना बनाऊं, ये तो बना ही दूंगा.
दो क्वेश्चंस आ रहे हैं मेरे जहन में. एक तो है कि given your work around leadership coaching and everything else you do, including this podcast, what is your take on the biggest problems of our, not generation but our times, right? Something that all of us should be thinking about. Is there anything, जो मेरा फेस वैक्यूम वाली चीजें में खिचड़ी वो तो पकते रहती है, but any such hypothesis or ideas or theories that you have around what is wrong with the world right now, and how we should be cognizant about it regardless of how we choose to engage with it. And the second unrelated question is, what has been your greatest gift of doing these podcast conversations?
Your first question. I think that there are a lot of problems, but let me answer it in this way: that what could be the solution to this, to all those problems, or all those which lead to different kind of problems showing up in different manners. And I very strongly think that most of these problems are because we do not use our faculty of thinking. And therefore, I would say that I think it's very important to bring in our schools and all forms of education the study of certain scriptures in the Vedantic philosophy, I would say, because I think they go so much beyond any kind of casteism, any kind of religion. They are so universal, and they, like just the Bhagavad Gita, for example, they prompt you to think from your intellect and not think on the basis of just your feelings or emotions. So I think they can make us much more objective. And with increase in objectivity, the crazy level of attachment to things which need not be attached to could go down. Now, I have led a life which was the latter primarily, but I have started understanding this, and a little bit of reflection maybe is there in what I'm doing. So that is what I would say needs to be done here, mere personal experience say, and I think that is a solution which could solve many things together.
Just a follow up to that. Are you in your current work applying some of this or offering something or doing something that includes aspects of this?
I'm not offering that, but yes, definitely a lot of it comes up during my coaching work with people. So I tell people whom I engage with that it will never be that I would be able to tell you what to do, but probably I could help you reflect on how to think. So in that how to think process, I think a little bit of this learning or what I'm learning gets reflected. And abhi to ab aap mera podcast karne lag gaye hain very smartly. Or what was your second question, Dhar?
Yeah, so it was, what has been your greatest gift from doing these conversations?
No, somehow of late, my podcasts have more and more been towards people who have been involved in the social sector in a selfless manner. They may be entrepreneurs, but their approach to the whole issue which they are dealing with, the whole area which they are dealing with, comes from a very strong foundation of self. I think my greatest gift has been that for example, via Jigyasa, I have got connected to you. And via Arpit, I got connected to Pavani. So it is just these connections which grow and which help me, or which keep me reminded that there is so much happening around us. And so much of it is happening without any extrinsic motivations, but more as a result of initiative, as a result of internal drive. I think that is my greatest gift.
Wow, amazing. I do think there should be a podcast episode where tables are switched and one of us gets to ask you some of these
अरे नहीं
amazing
नहीं
questions.
ऐसा कुछ नहीं यार. This is all journeys I think we all have, and it's good. I think what is good is when we get out to do something like this, and there is a certain sense that these are the kind of people you want to talk to. Providence helps in bringing those people together. You remember our introductory conversation which we were having, and you asked me this question in a different way, and I said, so neither am I accomplished nor I look for accomplished people. Because I know no accomplished people will be listening to my podcast. So थोड़े underdogs सब जगह ढूंढता रहता हूँ और मैं खुद भी underdog ही हूँ किसी प्रकार से, and I hope a lot of underdogs listen to podcasts like this.
Also, sorry, I can't help but ask one more question. Powerful sa hai abhi, is because you've made these amazing connections with so many scriptures, whether it's the Gita or even either book or a verse or whatever, like a sentence maybe or a word even, that you would say has been the cornerstone or defining sort of this thing for your life. What would that be?
I heard that word today, and I need to open up for the right pronunciation if you don't mind, because I did make a note of it, and
Wow.
I will tell you that word. Give me a second, please. Padma Patrami Vambhasa. Padma Patrami Vambhasa. And it essentially, Padma is the lotus, Patra is the leaf of the lotus. The lotus leaf is in water all the time, but it has nothing to do with the water. So it is being
Wow.
in the world and not being attached. I am nowhere close, but I'm starting to get some hints. And I'm happy about that much itself.
Wow.
So
It's really amazing how.
Any parting words from you, my friend? Let it shift back to the host if you don't mind.
Parting words, definitely read the Gita or any scripture for that matter that makes sense to you, because I think there is some beauty in the timelessness of these texts, regardless of how you relate with it, whatever your connection to them might be. I think if everybody can find that one source, either it's text, yeah, second aspect or second thing I would say would be, if not Gyan Yoga, आप कर्म योग कर लीजिए. You lead a life with volunteering or something else. Do listen to all the episodes from this podcast while you're doing your household chores, and then do give us a feedback or a rating on all your podcasting platforms.
Thank you so much. I look forward that in the near future, I'm able to meet with you personally and have a personal chat with you, meet with your parents also. So I hope I get that opportunity in the coming times pretty fast.
Likewise. And thank you so much, Jigyasa, for making this happen. Yeah.
Yes, it is because of Jigyasa that we are together. Thank you.